I love sleeping in my lashes.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Hi guys, what is up? So I don't know why I just like hugged myself for that, but hello everyone. So for today's video, it's just like the title says, how to be hot. Now this took me a hot second to make, hot, no pun intended. This took me a little bit to make because when I actually filmed this video almost 2 weeks ago, once I started looking at everything, I started to feel kind of like weird about it all and schmucky and kind of like fraudulent and like who am I to be telling people how to be hot? So the way that I'm approaching this video is kind of just from like a perspective of hopefully giving you more confidence. I did list out some things, and that's what like the chunk of this video or the first chunk of this video is, that you can physically do to feel more attractive, more beautiful, things that I think are really beautiful on people when they do them. So that being said, beauty is so relative. So these tips are not like do this and you will be hot. These are just things that I think look really great on people. And then the second half of the video, I'm going to talk not only about the concept of like beauty and relativity of beauty and hotness and that, but also the concept of feeling like a fraud. I have realized as I've gotten older that this is something, I hate when I say like I've realized as I've gotten older, but it's true. You're on the planet longer and you like acquire more info and knowledge and you change your opinions. And what I have realized as I've gotten older is that a lot of people, they feel like frauds. They feel like the position that they're in, the way that they're presenting themselves, whatever, is just like, people are gonna find me out. This isn't really me. And I think the same thing applies to, you know, portraying yourself as hot or beautiful and really getting dressed up and taking care of yourself. I have struggled with that, with feeling like people are gonna see right through me and they'll know I'm not really that cool or good looking and like, who do you think you are kind of thing. So I wanna talk about that at the end of today's video for my How to Be Happy January spiel. So stay tuned for that if you want to hear that conversation. And as usual, I want to hear what you guys think down in the comments. Say anything. If you have a different opinion than me, feel free to spout it out. If you have had experiences, spout. Is that really a word for that sentence? You get my gist. Feel free to put that in the comments. And if you have the same opinion or a different experience or perspective, feel free, like I just said, to put that down below, because I really want to hear what you guys think and how you feel. And I feel like all of your perspectives contribute to a conversation where we can hopefully learn from each other. And I was talking to my mom about this yesterday, like seek out truth and learning and knowledge and all of that. So before we hop right in, if you have not subscribed to my channel already and you watch me and you know you'd like to subscribe, please click that subscribe button right down below. But when you subscribe, also click the little bell next to it, and that way you'll get a notification every time I upload. YouTube used to tell people when someone they subscribe to uploaded. It is no longer that way. You have to actually hit that notification button. So if you're already subscribed to me but you don't have my notifications turned on, please turn my notifications on, if you will, please. So that being said, I'm gonna hop right in and I will see you at the end of this video for my little spiel. All right, so tip number one is to get 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Now, this is something that I protect really, really dearly. I'm like very vigilant about it. And another thing I do is before I go to bed, I always make sure to take vitamin C and probiotics. I wanna make sure that when I'm going to sleep, and processing all of the day's craziness, that I've got like good stuff going in my body. And I also like to diffuse essential oils a little bit before I go to bed too. Now, in this little fake scene where it's clearly not nighttime and we're faking that it's nighttime, I have the diffuser going. Now, actually at night, I'll pretty much only keep it plugged in until I fall asleep. Yes, I always take my socks off. I cannot sleep with socks. There I am just climbing into bed. I can't emphasize this enough, guys, that, wow, that was really dramatic. Getting enough sleep is so important for your mental health, your physical well-being, your beauty, and overall hotness. And it's just really, really important. And I really think you should take that very seriously. Also, the pillow that I'm using is MyPillow, like mypillow.com. You should check it out. I didn't love it at first, but I fell in love with it later. And it's honestly the bomb. I have 2 of them. All right, tip number 2, this is always a good reminder, and that is to drink lots of water. Side note, if you're wondering why I just filled up a Fiji water bottle, it's because anytime I get water bottles, I always save them for a little while and just reuse them like multiple times. Oh, there I am looking attractive, drinking on the water. So then I took my Fiji bottle around the house. I just continued to get extra hydrated. No, but seriously guys, I think that drinking water is one of those things, I know it is, like a super, super basic, but I feel like when you feel like you want to really upgrade your life, take another step forward, going back to basics is so helpful. So drinking water is a really good tip. And another tip to stay extra hot, guys, is to keep your body moving. Now I know that that means different things for everybody. By the way, I got these shoes at TJ Maxx. If you saw my TJ Maxx online haul, I really like them. They're really comfortable. They're like orthopedic tennis shoes from Reebok. But as I was saying, keeping moving is different things for different people. For me right now, that literally means physical therapy and walks. I used to be a full-on athlete, and this and my weird dance moves that I'm doing right now is the best I can do as far as getting moving. But staying moving to whatever extent you can will keep you mentally happy, keep endorphins flowing, and it's just good for your body to stay moving and keep going and challenging itself in whatever capacity that is. Oh yeah, this by the way was my little workout outfit. I just thought you might be interested, so I decided to pose for you. So moving on to my next tip, these are makeup tips, and if you have not been priming your face before your makeup, this is something that can make you feel 10 times more hot, because literally before I used to prime, I would always wonder why my makeup would look so like nasty or gross after a couple of hours. Priming is a big reason, and setting. This primer and setting spray are my favorite right now. I love them both so much. And setting your makeup before you put on dry makeup, so like you'll do all your wet makeup, foundation, concealer, all of that, and then spraying really helps it stay and not get gross all day. Another thing you might want to try are lashes. Now, I'm a little partial to this, obviously, because these were my lashes. If you didn't know that, I did release these lashes with 3 other vloggers in Walgreens a couple of weeks ago. I'm really, really excited about it. But trying lashes is a fun little upgrade you could try that can really make you feel just like hotter and more attractive. All right, so kind of random, but if you've ever wondered what eyeshadow I'm wearing, these are some of my favorite palettes. The first one is the Naked 2 palette. It's got a nice range of like shimmers and mattes, and they're all like very taupe based, which I really like. The second is the Ciate Pretty, Fun, and Fearless palette. I love all of the maroons. It's a really beautiful palette in general. The shadows are really creamy, and I didn't have any colors like this, so I love it. I also really love the Tartelette In Bloom palette. I love Tarte's palettes in general, but this palette is beautiful. And the original Tartelette palette, which this is actually my second one, that's why it hardly looks used, because I used the first one to death. And then I really love, away from eyeshadows, the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. Just got this palette about 2 months ago, but I've been using it a ton to contour and highlight my face. So if you have a similar skin color, I love this palette. And yeah, so moving on to hair. Babying your hair is one of the best things you can do for it. So these are my 2 favorite products. I love the Unite 7-second detangling leave-in conditioner, and then the Chi Silk Infusion, and I hardly use any heat on my hair, which helps to keep it really healthy. All right, so one thing that I think makes a big difference in someone's look is whitening their teeth. Now, I've been really into whitening my teeth since I was like 16, and honestly, Crest is pretty much the only brand I've ever used. I love their white strips, and I think they just kind of keep making them better over time. Now, I realize that having white teeth is not like something that everybody loves, but I think it makes a huge difference in someone's look and their smile and their confidence. Look at that. And once I have my white strips in, I kind of just like killing time. That's kind of the perfect time, whether you're driving, doing laundry, listening to podcasts. Apparently I felt the need to film myself doing all of my laundry, but point is, you can do anything you want that can also kind of like further along your life, help you be more productive while you have your white strips in. By the way, with How to Be Happy January, this book is a really good book if you are looking for a good book to read. It's really just all about relationships. The title is kind of deceiving, but not really. I mean, that's the gist of it, but I'm sorry, it's hard to even talk when I'm making those faces. That was just about the hottest face ever. So moving on to outfits. There I am spinning in my living room, but my torn up jeans, I love torn jeans. I feel like they give a really relaxed vibe, are from American Eagle, and my sweatshirt is from Revolve, and my shoes are from Vans. I feel like laid back outfits are a really fun way to dress, and they always make me feel really comfortable and confident, like being myself. So I'll still get dressed up like in my face and my hair, but having a relaxed outfit always makes me feel just really like comfortable and like myself. So moving on to this next outfit. So my scarf is from J. Crew. My dress is from Free People, which is also super comfortable. I put on some opaque black tights and some riding boots. So that is my little outfit. I love wearing tights with a dress. I feel like it allows you to stay really feminine and relaxed and flowy, even in the winter when it's cold, because you just put your tights on and you are good to go. So moving on to my last outfit. So this shirt was from Revolve and it just says Night Owl, even though that's actually a lie, because really I like to go to bed at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night at the latest. If I can like avoid it, like not staying up later, that's the time I like to go to bed. My jeans, oh, nice butt shot, are from American Eagle. My shoes, once again, are Vans, and my jacket is from Madewell. I love this coat. I don't have anything like it, and I feel like the whole look is once again super relaxed, super chill, but still pulled together, which is always my jam. Oh yeah. All right guys, so before I hop into this whole spiel, I feel like I have to answer a question I get asked a lot, and I'm probably going to be asked this in this video, and this is the typical, like, this usually is my answer. People ask me a lot when I do videos what lip color I'm wearing, and the lip color that I'm wearing today, that I wear very frequently in my video, is Tartiste. Tarte, like the makeup brand. They have a like a liquid lipstick called Tartiste, and the color is #TBT. So just wanted to open up by answering that. So I'm just gonna dive right in. I have a couple of different thoughts around the subject of beauty and hotness in general. So the first thing that I wanna say, which is kind of obvious, I am a firm believer, although I think this is just fact, this isn't even just something I believe, that beauty is in the eye of the beholder and it's very relative. I've had this conversation with different friends before, and I've definitely struggled with this myself, where things that people will say will affect them or myself so much, and they'll compare themselves to other people, like if I only looked like this person, if I only looked like this person. But the thing is, there is no one on the planet, no one in any position, whether it's beauty or a position of power or any type of leadership role or just visual stuff, any of it, there's no one on the planet that everyone will agree is really hot, is really beautiful, is a great leader. It just doesn't work that way. And I feel like sometimes that's really hard to, I was gonna say conquer, but that's not the right word, to kind of process, like the fact that definitely not everybody will think that you're beautiful, even if you are the most beautiful person ever. It doesn't happen. But I think it's really important to look at that, process that, and accept that even someone that you may consider like, oh, no one could think this person is ugly because they're the most beautiful person ever, I can pinky promise you I will be able to find someone who thinks they look ugly, that they look like an alien, that they're whatever. It's just all in the eye of the beholder, and it is all relative. And a lot of things in life are really relative because there's always someone better than you and there's always someone less than you. So whatever topic you're talking about, whether it is beauty and hotness or money or achievement or anything, there's always, it's relative. And I think that that's something that is really important to hold on to, is to know that you will not be attractive to everyone. Not everybody will like you. And that is something that, like I said, I've struggled with on and off throughout the years. I've gone through points in my life where like I feel really confident and I'm like, I don't care. Like I know, like not everybody's gonna like me. It's whatever in terms of like physical beauty and just my personality, to be honest. But then I've gone through other periods of time where I've been hyper insecure. And to be honest, I kind of feel like I'm crawling out of a phase of time where I guess the overarching theme would be more insecurity and more of a feeling of like wishing that, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, wishing that more people thought that I was beautiful or funny, and just getting more upset by the haters. That's the way I guess you would say it. The point being is it is all relative, and I think that that's a good thing to hold on to and know. And that is also why taking care of yourself and being hot or being beautiful and staying active and all of those things, really, yes, it is for how you encounter the world, how you engage with people, but really you want it to be for yourself, so that when you take care of yourself, you feel good and you feel confident and you kind of I don't want to say make yourself into something that you love, because really I know the ultimate goal is loving yourself. But let's be real, there is a difference in how I feel going out into the world, especially on some days more than more than others, depending on my mental state. If I just roll out of bed, put on sweats, throw my hair on top of my head, although my hair is on top of my head, but I think it's really cute. Throw my hair on top of my head, no makeup on, just popped a mint in my mouth, didn't brush my teeth yet, whatever. Like, there's a big difference between that versus, and then how I go out into the world versus how I might feel if I stop, check the mirror, maybe put on a little makeup, brush my hair, change out of the sweats. And it's not always very like every day I know if I'm out of my sweats and I do my makeup, I'll feel great. But taking that effort to be like, all right, what would make me feel really confident right now, and taking care of yourself is a good thing to do. I actually, to be honest, I don't even remember the point that I was just making 2 seconds ago. My brain just went off in 12 different directions. But that being said, here's the other thing about that. Sometimes I feel like when you take care of yourself and you're just like, well, I want to feel good about myself as I'm taking care of myself. But to be honest, I kind of just feel like a fraud. And I've heard people say this in work situations before. When I read Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg, she talked about that, about how a lot of women in business especially feel like frauds and like they're about to be found out, that they really don't know what they're doing and they shouldn't be there. And I thought that was really interesting, because I've definitely felt that way, but I've also felt that way in terms of like beauty and hotness. I keep saying that in this video, hotness, but I felt that way with my physical looks before too, where I've gotten dressed up and I want to feel good about the way I'm dressed, but I'm also feeling like when I show up, like they're all going to know that I don't fit in here, that I'm not this cool, that I've put on 12 pounds of makeup and tried my best to look good, but I still don't look good. And they all know that I still don't look good. And there are these really dark thoughts that have swirled around in my head before. And I think that a lot of people deal with that. And I think that a lot of people who are like, oh, that's not for me, or I'm not that girly, or I'm not like that. Sometimes that is just how it is. People are just confident in a certain look that is very, I don't want to say different from like traditional standards, but like they have a look and they are confident and comfortable in it. But I've also seen in myself and in some women that I know around me that they've used that as an excuse because they don't feel good enough. They don't feel like when they take care of themselves, they really are beautiful, or that anyone is going to think they're beautiful. And they feel like everyone's going to look at them and think that they look ridiculous. And it's fine for everyone else, but not for me. And I think it's a point worth examining, because like I said, sometimes it really is just like, nope, like that's not for me. And you want to stay true to yourself, and you want to be yourself and feel comfortable, and you don't want to have to always bend. Well, always. You really just don't want to bend to what the world thinks beauty is. You want to be your version of beautiful, but at the same time, it's worth examining, like I said before, and asking yourself, okay, is this just because I have my own look and I know how I want to be, how I want to look, how I want to present myself to the world, or am I using that as an excuse to protect my heart so that I don't try and I don't go out there and I don't feel that judgment, whether it's real or made up, and I don't feel hurt? Like, am I doing this as a protection mechanism? Like, am I not stepping into my beauty and taking care of myself because I'm trying to protect myself from pain or feeling like other people are judging me? And look, okay, I've been there. I remember I had this one time when my cystic acne was really bad. I showed up to work and I had put makeup on. I had done the best I could to cover it. But as you know, and now granted, this is a little different because when I had really bad cystic acne, that was 8, 9, 10 years ago. But, oh, my battery's flashing. Go tie this up. But at the time, the makeup maybe wasn't as great as it is now. But I did the best I could to cover it. And it kind of looked a little bit just not cute. I was covering dry skin and discoloration from deep cystic acne. And I remember I showed up to my job that day. I was doing a show and someone actually said to me, ew, what's wrong with your face? And I remember just being mortified, and it really cemented in my head, see, you're not fooling anyone. You can try all you want to look beautiful, but you fooled no one. And it was really hurtful, and I feel like it kind of sounds dumb to say that. Not dumb, but like a little bit like, okay, so you had some acne. But I'm sure you can imagine it really was hurtful. It was painful, and like I said, it cemented those thoughts that I had in my head. But that being said, first off, people should just never say stuff like that. And I think that I always want to think like we all have foot and mouth moments. Like they probably just had a foot and a mouth moment. But second off, wait, what was the point? Oh, the point was I just wanted to tell you because in case you happen to look at me, not that anyone is, but in case you're looking at me and saying like, well, that's nice. It's easy for you to say. Have you ever even felt that way? Like I have really specific instances where I felt that way. And I wanted to share that one with you because that was a particularly mortifying one. But it's something I think a lot of people deal with. So what I want to leave you with for How to Be Happy January is I want you to, I guess, examine that. And I really just wanted to let you know what I deal with and what I struggle with. And to be honest, along the lines of the fraudulent thing, oh wow, the lighting is drastically changing. Our weather here has been so crazy. I actually mentioned that in the vlog that I was filming today. We have had, yesterday it was raining cats and dogs. I almost like died on the freeway like 3 times. It was crazy. Oh, that hummingbird's back. But the other thing I wanted to say about feeling fraudulent, and it is really going to get crazy in here because I see the clouds covering the sun, is I have been feeling that way with How to Be Happy January. And everybody in my life knows this, and every year I always say this, that something happens that it's like because I've announced to the world that I'm doing this series about happiness, it's like sometimes I feel like my anxiety flares up worse because there's this tiny part of my brain that won't shut up that feels like I'm supposed to be pulled together and super happy all of the time because I'm running this series about happiness. And every year I try to set it up so that I don't feel that way by telling you guys like I'm not happy all the time, being really open about all of that. But it still tends to get to me, that feeling of like, I'm a fraud. I'm supposed to be leading this conversation about happiness. And here I am like so anxious I can't even leave my bed, which isn't fully true, but like just much slower days have happened due to anxiety. And it makes me feel fraudulent, but I know, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe you guys are gonna yell at me in the comments and be like, yeah, you are a fraud, but I feel like I know that everybody feels that way. And the fact that a lot of people, probably most people, deal with anxiety and a low-key depression because often like low-key depression kind of goes with anxiety. And I know a lot of people struggle with that. So I just wanted to be like transparent with you and let you know that I deal with all of that too. And I feel like that's always the overarching theme of these How to Be Happy January. It's like, I never know what to do. I'm like, I don't want it to be like too happy because I don't want people to think I'm like happy all the time. And also because I'm really not, but I'm like, but I don't want to just be like all depressing and like serious the whole time too. But I hope that you guys like these. Also, I'm going to link a podcast down below. So one of the churches that Dan and I went to for a really long time, we're still kind of connected with them because my sister is actually married to the pastor's son. The pastor, Pastor Marty, did a really great podcast about happiness. And I was listening to it the other day and I was just like, literally everybody needs to hear this. So it is definitely, just giving you a heads up, obviously since he's a pastor, he's coming from the perspective of he's a Christian pastor. So just know that going in. But I think that even if you are not a Christian, first off, you never know, like Christianity may be something that you find is an answer for you and you feel is true. But even if not, I think that there's this saying from Dallas Travers, or I don't know if she took it from someone, but I've held on to it for years. The saying is, eat the fish, spit out the bones. And what that basically means, you could probably figure it out if you sat on it too long. Take what works for you, keep what works for you, get rid of the rest. I feel that way about everything, and it allows me to be able to watch and listen to a lot of different opinions because I think a lot of people from lots of different backgrounds, experiences, faith, have a lot of tidbits of wisdom that I'm able to grab onto and be like, oh my gosh, I never thought of that perspective. Like, that's amazing. Like, you totally changed my thought process. So I feel like that's a good way to go into lots of things. So point being, even if you're not a Christian, I really think you should listen to his podcast because it was really eye-opening, and I really appreciate the truth that the truthfulness that he speaks with and the transparency that he speaks with. So I will link that down below as well. And yeah, I hope you eat the fish and spit out the bones for this too, because every single time I film a How to Be Happy January spiel, I'm like, what was I even just talking about? Like, I try to make little notes and then I just go all over the map, and I hope it was helpful at all. And that is it, guys. I will be back very soon with more videos. I have some food videos coming up, and I'm gonna do another live stream next week unless something happens. The plan is to do another live stream. So be sure to check my social media stuff because I will be announcing it on like Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter as I lead up to it. I don't know if it'll be like the day of, a couple hours before, or if I'll get my act together and announce it the day before. But point being, I will let you guys know. And yeah, that's it. Once again, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already, and don't forget to hit that notification button. I always feel like a commercial when I'm saying that, but I'm like, I gotta tell you guys, they told me at YouTube that when you remind people audibly that they're more likely to do it because they're like, oh yeah, I forgot. And I've actually experienced that when I've watched YouTubers, but whenever I tell you guys, I'm like, oh, I feel very schmucky right now, but that's pretty much it. So I'll see you all very soon. Don't forget to use the hashtag #HappyJanuary. I need to stop talking now. And yeah, bye guys.